In the dim light of early morning, the air was thick with anticipation. Across the nation, conversations buzzed with speculation about what was to come. It was a moment that felt like the calm before a storm, a collective breath held in unison. News outlets had been abuzz with whispers of a powerful comeback, a term that had been tossed around like confetti in the wake of political upheaval. But this time, it was different. This time, it was Donald Trump. The last few years had been tumultuous for America. The political landscape had shifted dramatically, and the country found itself divided in ways that seemed insurmountable. Yet, in the midst of chaos, a palpable yearning for something, someone, familiar began to rise. Trump's supporters, a fervent and loyal base, had never truly faded into the background. They had been waiting, watching, and ready to rally once again. As the sun began to rise over the horizon, illuminating the faces of millions who had once stood behind him, the stage was set for a comeback that would shake the foundations of American politics. The day began with a series of social media posts. Trump's Twitter account, dormant for what felt like an eternity, flickered back to life. Each tweet was a spark, igniting the fervor of his supporters. "The time for change is now," one post read, accompanied by a photo of him standing resolute, arms crossed, a familiar smirk on his face. The message was clear. He was back, and he was ready to reclaim his place at the forefront of American politics. As the hours passed, the news spread like wildfire. Supporters gathered in small groups, their excitement palpable. Coffee shops buzzed with discussions about what this meant for the future. Radio shows filled their airtime with debates, pundits weighing in on the implications of Trump's return. Some viewed it as a necessary resurrection, a chance to restore what they believed had been lost. Others saw it as a step backward, a reminder of the divisions that had plagued the country. But one thing was certain: America was on the brink of something significant. The announcement came later that day, delivered during a press conference that felt like a scene from a blockbuster film. Trump stood at the podium, flanked by supporters and advisors, the weight of the moment palpable in the air. He spoke with the confidence of a man who had weathered the storm, his voice steady and commanding. "I am officially announcing my candidacy for the presidency in 2024, he declared, and the crowd erupted into cheers. In that moment, the nation held its breath. The significance of his words reverberated through the hearts of many. For some, it was a beacon of hope, a promise of a return to a time when they felt heard and valued. For others, it was a daunting reminder of the battles yet to come. Yet, regardless of perspective, there was an undeniable energy that surged through the air, a sense that the political landscape was shifting once again. As the days turned into weeks, Trump's campaign began to take shape. He traveled across the country, holding rallies that drew thousands. Each event felt like a revival meeting, filled with fervor and passion. His supporters waved flags and chanted slogans, their voices rising in unison as they echoed his call for change. It was a powerful sight, a testament to the loyalty he had cultivated over the years. But it wasn't just the rallies that captured attention. Trump's message resonated with a growing discontent that had been simmering beneath the surface. He spoke to the struggles of everyday Americans, addressing issues that had been overlooked or dismissed. The economy, immigration, healthcare, topics that had once divided the nation were now framed within a narrative of unity and strength. "Together, we will make America great again," he proclaimed, and for many, those words held a promise of a brighter future. As the campaign gained momentum, the media began to scrutinize every move he made. Analysts dissected his speeches, searching for the underlying strategies that fueled his resurgence. Some speculated about his ability to connect with disenfranchised voters, while others marveled at his knack for seizing the spotlight. Trump's charisma was undeniable. He had a way of captivating audiences, drawing them in with stories that felt personal and relatable. Yet, as with any political comeback, challenges loomed on the horizon. His opponents, both within and outside the Republican Party, began to mobilize. The Democratic Party, still reeling from the previous election, sought to regroup and strategize. They launched counter-campaigns, aiming to dismantle the narrative that Trump had carefully constructed. The battle lines were drawn, and the stakes had never been higher. In the midst of this turmoil, a significant move emerged that would change the course of the campaign. Trump, ever the showman, announced a series of town hall meetings across key battleground states. These events were not just another opportunity to rally supporters. They were a calculated strategy to engage directly with voters. He wanted to hear their concerns, to understand their struggles, and to showcase his commitment to addressing the issues that mattered most to them. The first town hall took place in a small town in Pennsylvania, a state that had played a pivotal role in previous elections. As the crowd gathered, the atmosphere was electric. People from all walks of life filled the auditorium, their faces a tapestry of hope, skepticism, and curiosity. Trump took the stage, and for the next hour he listened. He listened to the stories of factory workers facing layoffs, to parents worried about their children's education, to seniors concerned about health care. What struck many was not just his willingness to engage, but the way he responded. He didn't offer platitudes or vague promises. He spoke directly to their concerns, weaving personal anecdotes into his responses. "I know what it's like to struggle," he said, his voice steady. "I've been there, and together we will find solutions." The sincerity in his tone resonated deeply, and the crowd responded with a mix of applause and cheers. It was a powerful moment, one that solidified his connection with voters. As the town halls continued, Trump's campaign adopted a new rhythm. Each event became an opportunity to showcase not just his platform, but his humanity. He shared stories of triumph and struggle, weaving them into a narrative that felt authentic and relatable. The media began to take notice, shifting the focus from mere sound bites to the substance of his message. The polls began to reflect this shift, showing a gradual increase in support, particularly among undecided voters who were drawn to his direct approach. But the comeback was not without its setbacks. The political climate remained charged, and attacks from opponents grew fiercer. The Democratic Party launched a campaign designed to highlight the controversies that had surrounded Trump during his presidency. They sought to remind voters of the chaos, the divisive rhetoric, and the scandals that had marked his time in office. Yet Trump's supporters remained steadfast, rallying around him with an unwavering loyalty that seemed to defy the odds. As the campaign progressed, a pivotal moment arrived, a debate that would become a defining point in the race. The anticipation was palpable as Trump faced off against his opponents, each vying for the chance to challenge him. The stage was set, the stakes higher than ever. Trump entered the arena with the confidence of a man who had faced adversity before. He understood the power of the moment, and he was ready to seize it. The debate unfolded with a mix of tension and excitement. Questions flew, and the candidates sparred over policy and vision. But it was Trump's ability to pivot, to connect with the audience beyond the confines of the debate stage that set him apart. He spoke directly to the American people, addressing their fears and aspirations with a clarity that resonated. "We are at a crossroads," he declared. "We can choose to continue down a path of division, or we can come together to build a future that includes everyone." In that moment, something shifted. The audience, both in the studio and at home, felt the weight of his words. It was a call to unity, a reminder that despite the differences that had emerged, there was a shared desire for a better future. The debate ended, but the impact lingered. Polls reflected a surge in support, and the narrative surrounding Trump began to shift once more. As the election drew closer, the energy surrounding Trump's campaign only intensified. The town halls continued, each one a testament to his commitment to engaging with the American people. He traveled to small towns and big cities alike, always emphasizing the importance of listening. "I want to hear from you," he would say, and the crowds responded with enthusiasm. In the final weeks leading up to the election, the air was thick with tension. The nation was on edge, and every poll, every news story felt like a harbinger of what was to come. Trump's opponents ramped up their efforts, but the message remained clear. He was not just a candidate, He was a movement fueled by the desire for change, for connection, and for a future that felt within reach. On election night, the atmosphere was electric. Supporters gathered in watch parties across the country, their hopes pinned on the outcome. As the results began to roll in, the tension was palpable. States flipped back and forth, and the nation held its breath. But as the night wore on, a pattern began to emerge. Trump's message had resonated, and the support he had cultivated over the months began to materialize in votes. When the final results were announced, the nation erupted into a mix of celebration and disbelief. Trump had not just made a comeback, he had reclaimed the presidency. The news spread like wildfire, and supporters flooded the streets, waving flags and chanting his name. It was a moment that felt surreal, a testament to the power of resilience and connection. In the days that followed, the nation grappled with the implications of the election. For some, it was a victory, a chance to restore what had been lost. For others, it was a moment of reckoning, a reminder of the divisions that still existed. Yet, amid the chaos, one thing remained clear. Trump's comeback had changed the narrative. It had reignited a passion for politics, a desire to engage, and a belief that change was possible. As the dust settled, Trump stood at the helm of a nation that was both hopeful and uncertain. He understood the challenges ahead, but he was ready to face them head-on. His powerful comeback was not just a personal triumph. It was a reflection of the collective desire for a future that embraced both unity and strength. In that moment, America was poised for a new chapter, one that would be written by the hands of its people and the vision of a leader who had once again risen to the occasion.